Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So today the question is about you. You are the topic of this question, so to speak. Some people say that Michael James is a fanatic of the teachings of Ramana Maharshi, and that this already implies a confirmation bias that makes you not open to accept that the truth is a land without roads, and that when we confuse a road with the truth, we end up getting lost, as Jiddu Krishnamurti would say. So to what extent is a spiritual path important, and why should we or should we not focus on one spiritual path when we value some other teachings at the same time?
There are many different spiritual teachings because people are at different levels of spiritual development. So according to different levels of spiritual development, there are different levels of spiritual teachings. And we are attracted to those teachings which are most appropriate for us. I have been attracted to Bhagavan's teachings, which I consider the deepest and subtlest, but at the same time, the simplest and clearest of all teachings. I am so convinced by Bhagavan's teachings. I don't feel there's anything lacking in Bhagavan's teachings, at least for me. So I don't feel any need to look elsewhere. The fact that I focus on Bhagavan's teachings doesn't mean that I consider other teachings invalid. Other teachings may be suitable for other people. I respect that. That is not a problem for me. But for me, Bhagavan's teachings are the clearest and simplest. And when I talk or write, I naturally express my view of his teaching. But I think this is the, for me at least, this is the most appropriate part. And obviously, I'm not alone in this. Many other people are attracted to Bhagavan's teachings in a similar way. So when I'm talking or writing anything, basically I'm writing for those who are attracted to Bhagavan's teachings in a way similar to the way I am attracted to them. Some people may not like. They may, as this questioner has asked, they may think, "Oh, Michael's a fanatic." Well, if fanatic means being one-pointed, yes, I think it is necessary. If we are serious about following a spiritual path, whatever spiritual path we are drawn to, we should be one-pointed in following that path. There's an old analogy, often repeated. If you're going to dig a well, choose where to dig your well and dig. Don't dig just 5 feet, 1 meter or 2 meters or something, and then decide to go and dig somewhere else. In that way, you'll never get water. If you don't get water after 1 meter, continue digging. If you don't get water after 2 meters, continue digging. So obviously we have to select an appropriate place to start digging. But if we are firmly convinced by Bhagavan's teachings, we should follow this path with one-pointed devotion. We don't, with one-pointed devotion and dedication. We don't have to look elsewhere, because all the guidance and help that is required is provided by Bhagavan's teachings. So, so it's not necessary for us. No other spiritual teachings are necessary. And if we are reading too many different types of spiritual teachings, we're likely to get confused. By focusing on one, we're likely to get more clarity and more depth of understanding. And it's not only the studying that's important, it's the putting it into practice. We need to practice one path. The path Bhagavan has taught us is the path of self-investigation and self-surrender. This is Bhagavan has very clearly indicated this is the ultimate path. As he says in verse 8, anatinam uttamam, it is the best among all. We don't need any other path or any other teachings if we are if we are attracted to Bhagavan's teachings. If we're not attracted to Bhagavan's teachings, fine. Then we can go and look elsewhere. But if we're attracted to his teachings, there's no need to look elsewhere. Regarding the reference to J. Krishnamurti about the truth is a land without roads, these are very, very nice sounding words, but it doesn't really have much, there's not much substance in them. But what is the truth? What is true? If we understand Bhagavan's teaching, what is real is only ourself. Our fundamental awareness of our own existence, I am, that is the truth. Why do we believe that? Because what Bhagavan has explained to us, very sound reasons for believing this. Everything else appears and disappears. All phenomena appear and disappear. They appear in waking or dream, they disappear in sleep. Even the ego, the perceiver of phenomena, appears and disappears. But there's something that remains, that remains whether they appear or they disappear. That is our fundamental awareness of our own existence, I am. So this awareness, I am, this is the only enduring element of our experience. So this gives us, and the one thing we cannot doubt, we can doubt, now we perceive so many phenomena. We can doubt the reality of these phenomena. They could all be just an appearance. They could be an illusion. Even the ego who sees them, because it appears and disappears, it also, its reality is open to question. But one thing that we cannot reasonably doubt is I am. We are aware I exist. We couldn't be aware I exist, I am, without, if we didn't exist and we weren't aware, we couldn't be aware I am. So it's the one thing which we've got good grounds to believe what we are, but we've got good grounds to doubt what we are, but we don't have good grounds to doubt that we are. We do exist. What we are, that is what we need to investigate. That's what Bhagavan's teachings are all about. So that is the truth. That is the, if you want to call it the truth, or what is real is just this fundamental awareness I am. And the path to that is to attend to it. So it's not, in one verse in Guru Vachaka Kavai, Bhagavan says, oneself, that is our real nature, it is both the path and the goal. So I am is the path and I am is the goal. So it's not the road we are following is nothing other than the truth we are seeking.
Yes. I think there's...
When we follow this path, when eventually ego dissolves and the reality alone remains, then there are no paths because we are always that. But from the perspective of ego, because we have risen as ego, as Bhagavan said, go back the way you came. We need to return. We've risen as ego. We need to subside back into the source from which we rose. So we need to go back the way we came. In that sense, from a perspective of ego, yes, there is a path. But the nature of the path is not other than the nature of the goal we are seeking.
Yes. But it seems to me that there are there are many people who claim that you have to see everything there is on the market, and then you have to come up. You can enrich yourself from many points of view or many teachings, and then just decide which is best for you or something. But yes, it's a question of resonation. If you resonate with Bhagavan's teachings, so
yeah,
there's no point in going to another one.
Yeah. If we are still looking around, we haven't yet found what's right for us. Once we find what's right for us, there's no need to continue looking. So if Bhagavan's path is the path for us, we will recognize it pretty quickly. And then there's no need to look elsewhere. That doesn't mean that we look down on other paths, or we don't think other paths are valid. People are at many different levels of spiritual development, and where different spiritual teachings are appropriate to people at different levels of spiritual development. So there will always be a diversity of spiritual teachings. But we need to decide what is appropriate for us, what draws us, what is the factor.
Yeah, many of the people who have come to Bhagavan have been in different spiritual paths before.
Yeah.
So
yes.
they've tried, like, tried all the...
all of us. If not in this lifetime, in previous lifetimes, we've certainly would have followed other paths. But now we've come to this path, there's no need to look back.
Yeah. So for somebody who comes into a path like Bhagavan's, for example, you would say that it's no accident that you come by chance and you like it and you follow up on it. So it's not, there is no accident, or
it's no accident. No, it's because this is what is meant for us. It's the appropriate thing for us.
Yes.
But if people who disagree with my view about Bhagavan's teachings, if they want to call me a fanatic, that's fine. It's not a problem for me. But generally, a fanatic is someone who goes and tries to impose their beliefs on other people. I have no desire to impose my beliefs on anyone. If people are interested in following Bhagavan's path, I'm happy to talk about it and to share what I have learned and what I have understood. But the last thing I would want to do is to try to impose my beliefs on anyone else, because just because it's appropriate for me doesn't mean it's appropriate for everyone else. That is why Bhagavan didn't give any teachings of his own accord. Only when people asked him did he say, we should be the same. We shouldn't be going out and telling people about Bhagavan's teachings. If people ask us, then we can say. But we are not here to evangelize Bhagavan's teachings.
Or go to the streets and, and start selling books with Bhagavan's teachings or anything like that. Yeah, I think that's the kind of difference between the fanatic you describe and a kind of fanatic, that they say in the question. Yeah, it's true.
But
okay, Michael.
If anyone means by fanatic someone who has one-pointed zeal in following the path, then it is good to be a fanatic of Bhagavan's teachings. I wish I was more fanatic.
I wish I was a fundamentalist. Yeah.
I wish I was more serious about going within.
Or a radical, or a fundamentalist, or anything like that. Yes,
what does radical mean? Radical means going to the root. What does fundamental mean? Going to a fundamental. So Bhagavan's teaching, their very nature is they're radical and they're fundamental. So if we truly want to follow Bhagavan's teachings, we have to be radical. We have to be a fundamentalist, but not in a bad sense, in a good sense.